Hey guys, the character Charon is right around the corner, and even after Charon we get a character like Robushka, then heading into Corvus, Anionala, Beryl. Let's talk about all of these characters one more time and figure out why should you pull for them, should you pull for them in the first place, when should you pull for them, and everything else concerning them. Starting off with the character Charon.
There's no purpose to be found in taking lives.
Everyone should be aware that Charon makes the Dynamo archetype team not only complete but future-proof. The Dynamo archetype is one of the best archetypes in the entire game and a team that you should definitely play 100% guaranteed. He makes this team future-proof as well, and not only the current existing team around Lucy, Ulrich and Ezra, but future characters that release from the Dynamo archetype will need to be played together with Charon as well. There's no way around this character. Characters like Corvus and Brume that gonna release soon after Charon, they will also be a Dynamo archetype team that relies on Charon. Not only is all of that true, but he is, even as an individual character, a true powerhouse. He elevates a team, the Dynamo archetype, that is already on top of the meta to a whole new level. So pull for Charon, close the Dynamo archetype chapter, make the team complete so that you don't have to worry about this team anymore for a very long time to come. Then we have the character Robushka coming out right after Charon, basically on December 11th. Here we have a little bit more to unpack, so let's dive right into it.
So, she's the vampire everyone's been talking about? Uh-huh. That's our boss, alright.
Robushka is interesting because when she comes out, she will immediately have two best in slots in two different teams, in two very good teams in fact. She's gonna be played in the Blood Tide team and can be used as a replacement for the character Medicine Pocket. She can also be used, or she has to be used in fact, kind of, in the Ultimate archetype team, because you will want to play Getian in this Ultimate archetype team, and Melania is a must play there as well. So in order to play the roster with Melania and Getian, you have to play Getian together with characters that deal reality damage. Melania doesn't deal reality damage, and this is where a little bit of a problem arises, because your sustain character needs to deal reality damage in order for Getian to unfold his true potential. The problem is that we don't have characters available, sustain characters available, that deal reality damage other than Sotheby and Mrs. Bubble. Both of these characters do not get the job done good enough anymore. And this is where Robushka comes in, because Robushka is a very good sustain character that deals reality damage. That's why she is also the best in slot, not only for the Blood Tide team, but for the Ultimate archetype team as well. That is what makes her interesting. Now of course, if you hear this, right, whoa, best in slot for Blood Time, that's the best team in the game. And she has another best in slot for another very good team with the Ultimate archetype. How come she's not an immediate must pull? That is because she is unnecessary. You don't have to replace Medicine Pocket in the Blood Tide team. Medicine Pocket makes this team very convenient to play and gets the job done perfectly there. So replacing Medicine Pocket would be overkill. Then for the Ultimate archetype team, yes, Robushka there is very needed because Sotheby and Mrs. Bubble are not good enough anymore. But it is also not completely necessary, as you could just play the team without Getian, with a low para or something, and then add a sustain of your choice. Without Getian, you are not bound for your sustain to deal reality damage. So there you will be completely and totally fine as well. And now that is why now we jump into how you should look at Robushka when it comes to should you pull for her or not. Look at her as a luxury investment for rich people that have enough Unilocks, that have a huge amount of Unilocks, like over or at least 200 Unilocks at the time that Robushka releases. If that would be the case for you, which is unlikely because you will have to pull for Charon and you are kinda bound to get a little bit lucky on Charon, so in order for you to have enough Unilocks for Robushka left, right? Then if you have 200 or more Unilocks, you can try and get your hands onto Robushka, sure, because she is a really good character, but a little bit unnecessary. And that's why you should look at Robushka as a luxury investment if you have enough Unilocks left. Why only pull for Robushka if I have enough left, if she's that good, right? A luxury investment, yeah, that would improve my account. Why should I not pull for her? That is simply because we are, after Robushka, heading into a half-year anniversary with version 3.2. And this version will most likely be pretty expensive for you as well. You will want to get your hands onto Beryl for sure. Then, if you don't have Anionala, you might even consider pulling for Anionala to establish a Euphoria update there as well. And the Euphoria banner is going to be cracked. Because if you pull for Beryl and you want to play Beryl in 3.2, then you will have to also pull for Isolde, which either has a rerun right now, or you can grab her from the Euphoria banner. And Anionala, if you go that route with Anionala, she will need Kala Bauna, or she really wants to have Kala Bauna by her side. That is also part of the Euphoria banner. And you see that 3.2 is pretty expensive. That's the whole point. And that's why you're really good advised to save up Unilocks for version 3.2. And that's why Robushka is not a must pull. As I said, she is a little bit unnecessary, no matter how good she is, right? You don't really need 100% need Robushka. And that's why you can easily skip her to save up for 3.2, and that would be totally fine. So again, should you pull for Robushka or not? Only if you have 200 plus Unilocks the time that Robushka releases. And that's about Robushka. Next up we have Corvus, and yeah, we won't be here for long. This is a quite quick chat. Corvus is a must skip. Have a great day, bye. No, but this is honestly what I could tell you. There's one scenario we can go over, and that is that if you are a brand new player that started playing the game after the 2nd anniversary, then you won't have Lucy and Ulrich. But you definitely want to play the Dynamo archetype team because it's just that good, even without Lucy and Ulrich. And that is when you would pull for Corvus. Corvus in that scenario becomes a must pull. As a new player, you always want to get your hands onto a main DPS as fast as possible, and Corvus would be by far your best choice there. The problem is that you will also have to pull for Charon. Corvus is unplayable without the character Charon. So that is a huge investment, right? You will have to pull for Charon in one version. Next version, you will have to pull for Corvus. And then next version, you will even have another must pull with Brume coming through. And that will be your Dynamo archetype team right there. You would have to skip everything else, otherwise you cannot guarantee you these characters. And that's kind of a heavy ask, right? A heavy task to ask for. But that's really it about Corvus. Must skip for everyone that is not brand new and joined the game for after the 2nd anniversary. If you were part of this game, of this community here, in the 2nd anniversary, then you skip Corvus 100% no matter what. That's about it. Let's move on to version 3.2. for version 3.2 we cannot really talk about individual characters because the whole patch is synergy, so to speak. That is because we get 2 duos. We get Calabauna and Anyo, and we get Beryl and Isolde. Those are duos. These characters, they will have to be played together. There's one problem that occurs here, because both Calabauna and Anyo, they want Flutterpage and Fatutu in their team. Same for Beryl and Isolde. They also want Flutterpage and Fatutu in their team. That is very likely to be only for the time being and only for version 3.2, because with the introduction of Beryl, she brings a new archetype called Afterglow into this game. Now Afterglow is a little bit left behind right out of the gate, because there's only Beryl and Isolde and no one else that synergizes well enough around this archetype. That's why the speculation of us getting either brand new characters in the future or future Euphoria updates that also synergize around this Afterglow mechanic. If that would be the case, that would mean that Beryl and Isolde would then be played with these new characters that also synergize around their archetype. That means Flutterpage and Fatutu will be freed up, and that leaves them then to be played with Calabauna and Anyonala. And you see, it leads to us getting 2 completely new teams in version 3.2. And in the future, maybe, right? It is a little bit speculation. It is very, very likely though, because look, the Afterglow mechanic is kind of a rework for Burn. Now the character Jay got a rerun and a new garment, right? So it is very likely to assume that at least he will get a new Euphoria update very, very soon. He's a Burn character. That means he will synergize around Afterglow. This is what makes this version very, very interesting and pretty expensive, as you want definitely to get your hands onto Beryl and Isolde, because if you don't, you might miss out on a brand new, very strong archetype. As look, even with this new Afterglow mechanic being incomplete, it is still top 5 meta. It's Beryl Isolde with Flutterpage and Fatutu. That team is already really, really good, and it might even become better, as I said, with future characters, with future Euphoria updates. So you don't want to miss out on this team at all. And then we have Anyonala and Calabauna as well. They are also already pretty good, also top 5 teams in the metagame. And they will stick together with Fatutu and Flutterpage, which guarantees them to be super viable no matter what moving forward, right? So 3.2 is really kind of us heading a little bit into a new meta. Not really, because Dynamo, Impromptu, Bloodtide, they will stay, right? They will be on top of the meta, and nothing is ever gonna outclass these teams for a very, very long time. But if we exclude these teams, then Beryl, Isolde and Calabauna plus Anyonala, that is gonna be the most relevant stuff there is in this game. And as I said, maybe Afterglow will get a new glow up, in the future with new Euphoria updates and characters. So that's why I told you, right? Skip Corvus. Think really strongly about if you want to pull for Robushka or not, because you will need Unilogs in 3.2. If you don't have enough Unilogs in version 3.2, you will be sitting there crying. I'm 100% guarantee you this. And if you just look at Beryl, you will understand where I'm coming from. I almost forgot to talk about the character Brume as well. We will get Beryl and Brume. And as I already mentioned that kind of with Corvus, Brume is an absolute 100% must skip, unless you are a new player that needs to establish yourself a Dynamo archetype team, because you don't have Lucy and Ulrich, as you joined the game after the 2nd anniversary. So pull for Charon, then Corvus is really a must pull as well. And to make this team kind of complete, you still need Ezra or any sustain for that matter. You can play this team with the character Via and her Euphoria update as well. But yeah, only if you are a brand new player that joined after the 2nd anniversary. You go for Charon, you go for Corvus, and then Brume to make the team complete. And that's gonna be your route, but only as a new player. Everyone else must skip Brume. And that's gonna be about it. That's also gonna be about it for the video, guys. I wish all of you best of luck on your Charon pulls from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna make a community post where you can share with me how your pulls went again. We did this once for Lucy and I had an absolute blast. It was so fun to see everyone talk about how their Lucy pulls went. And it's gonna be such a fun time as well doing this for Charon, because look, people gonna lose 50-50, right? And some people will lose this 50-50 to characters like Kiparina, while others will lose their 50-50 to characters like Spathodea, and it's gonna be so much fun finding out how your pulls went because of exactly that fact. So watch out for the community post and please, please, please share with me how your pulls went. I hope this was fun and informative. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, don't forget to join the Discord server, link in the description down below. Take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.